California dreaming about you.
Hey everyone, it's Shishka Barber coming right at you with another Boom Beach video. Now guys, today's video is special. We're going to be talking about the Rainmakers. This is Rainmaker 101. So get your pencils and notebooks and get ready, because we've got a lot of ground to cover, that's for sure. Okay, these have been out for a while now. Sorry, it's taken me a while to get to this video. What can I tell you? I've just been busy, and these videos take a little bit of time to put together. Anyway, where can we see the stats on these? That would not be here. That would be here. Yeah. Okay. So, taking a look at it, we know that it doesn't have very much health. The unit size is 14, which means you can only fit one of these in a max landing craft. Training cost is 97,500. So again, it's the most expensive troop. So just like the Glaser Trons, you want to keep your boats full of these when you log out to help protect more gold. Training time is instant, which is nice for people that don't have endless reserves. Movement speed is slow. I would call it very slow, to be honest. It's really, really slow. And the range is very long, and that's no exaggeration. As we're going to see in this video, and you're probably all well aware of it already, these things can even outrange boom cannons, at least most of the time. The damage per second is deceptive. It's quite higher than it actually appears. You see, there's 905 DPS, but the damage per shot is 400. And the time between shots is 0.2 seconds. And basically, he lobs out 4 grenades at a time, or she does, I guess. And when these things hit, they explode, and they explode into 5 pieces of shrapnel. And that shrapnel also does damage at 400 each. So really, each one of these shots does 400 damage just on its own. Then it's got 5 pieces of shrapnel that also do 400 damage. So that's another 2,000 damage. So each one of these shots has the potential to do 2,400 damage. It's quite a bit. It's quite a bit. And then if you take, there's 4 shots there. That's like, what did I say? So 2,400 a shot, and then you got 4 shots. You're at 9,600 damage. Just almost call it 10,000, guys. It's incredible. So yeah, actually, you know what? I think the math on that is right, because if you've got, we're gonna find out it's roughly about 11 seconds between the shots. So yeah, that would work out to about 905 damage per second. So I guess that does include all the shrapnel damage. Anyway, it's quite destructive, guys. Quite destructive. So I built some or redesigned some test bases to start testing these things out. Let's just jump right into that. Yeah, okay, so here's the test base. I guess when I jump out of the game, I'm going to lose this ability to record, so we'll just have to edit all these clips together. In this base, we're simply going to be determining the time between shots. So here we go. Pay attention to when the first shot is fired. Right at 3:53. So we should find the next one comes out at 3:42. Give or take. I think it's a little bit more than 11 seconds per shot. There you go, 3:42. So, yeah, if I had to guess, if I got a real timer I could time it, was probably like 11.2 seconds or something weird like that. So that was at the 30-second mark, I believe. And right there at 19. So it's definitely 11 and then some change, because I've seen over time that it starts to skip a second every now and then, and it looks like 12. So basically it's a little bit over 11 seconds between shots. Now this is actually something that's kind of important, because think about it. That means basically you're getting 5 shots a minute, okay? That's assuming that you're always on your target. Now, there's only 4 minutes in a fight, so that means in total you've only got 20 volleys of these things, which means each volley of shots is very, very important. And we'll get more into that later in terms of what that means, what you can do to maximize your damage with these. And let's go ahead and jump out of this. There we go. Okay, And we're going to jump into another base builder, so I'll be right back. Back again. All right, this was one that we built with the Glaser Tron, but hey, it works great for this one. Now this base was originally set up to do range testing. Each of these buildings is spaced at their maximum range. Basically, they can always touch that mine that's in front of them, or the top of the beach, whatever. So you can see we start with the flamethrower that has the shortest range, and then the machine gun which has the next shorter range, and etc. All the way down to the sniper tower. And we even got boom cannons in the back. Anyway, let's just drop one of these guys, and we know it's going to outrange everything. We already know this. Not really a big deal. In fact, these are so darn slow. I'll drop one on this side too. Pretty neat. Now we're also going to use this base to demonstrate a technique that I like to do for dropping. I guess we can go ahead and start discussing it right now while we're watching this. Basically what we're going to find out is, like I was mentioning before, you basically get 20 salvos per unit per 4-minute match. And so you want all those to count. Now the problem is, I've noticed that in the past, especially like right here, you see how both of them were targeting that mortar? Well, you didn't really need all of those mortars to kill that mortar. So some of those mortars were actually wasted. Check this out, guys. You're going to see it's outranging the boom cannon. Sometimes they will kind of meander into the path of the boom cannon, so you have to be careful. Anytime you do approach a boom cannon, I highly recommend you have your shocks highlighted and you hover your finger right over that boom cannon. Because if you see that boom cannon turn, you get shot at immediately, or else you're going to have dead Rainmaker on your hands, that's for sure. But anyway, what I was talking about was not wanting to waste their precious mortar shots. They don't spit out too many of these over a full fight. And the problem comes from having the same target being attacked by multiple Rainmaker attacking the same target. It can be overkill, basically, and that's damage that's just wasted. So, to minimize that overkill, what you do is you stagger them on the drop. Okay, you don't just drop them all at once. Let's just demonstrate that. I'm gonna have to jump into another base, so I'll be right back. Same base. Okay, we're back. So for this test, what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop 3 of these guys. In the first test, we're gonna drop all 3 of them, one after another, and we'll see how long it takes for them to destroy it. Okay, here we go. Alright, that's what you're going to see is overkill. What we should see. Yeah, see, they launched all of their stuff right there at the flamethrower. The flamethrower goes down. And we'll see the same pattern here with the overkill. Alright, yeah, remember we had all these mines set up on the cannon to test the Glaser Tron's range, or the distance of its laser fire trail or whatever. I believe it was, what did we calculate before? 16? Yeah, but anyway, it's not about the Glaser Tron. This is about the Rainmakers. I've got another base set up where we can talk about the area and effect that these things do. But the point here is we're trying to see how long it takes to kill the HQ. Because you'll see, every time they're doing overkill. This is if there's one technique or one tip that I can share with you that's insightful about these, it's this. It's absolutely this. It's definitely a smarter way to attack, and I'll demonstrate it here as soon as this one's over. And just like that, at the 227, at the 227 mark, the base goes down. This time we're going to launch 3 again. However, we're going to stagger the drop. I'll drop them about 2 seconds apart. Okay, so it means I need to jump back into the base builder, so I will be right back with you. Okay, we're back. Now this time, guys, remember we're staggering. We're going to do drop them about 2 seconds apart. well, we still got a little bit of overkill. But, you see where this is going? Remember, we were at 227 the last time. Well, heck, they're rolling up on the base. Not even sure if that's fair. I mean, it's all fair to them. The point is, it's not overkill, guys. So, you'll see it should make a pretty big difference. And it's amazing how just dropping the troops will make this difference. And it's funny too that I actually dropped my troops more slowly this time, and we're gonna kill it faster. So it's a little counterintuitive, but it's all about minimizing overkill. There's one tip I can give you for these, it's definitely that, because look at the difference it makes. Remember, it was 227 the first time, guys. Oh, it's almost down. I've seen some faster times, and 254. So we saved a lot of time, 27 seconds we saved. That makes a huge, huge difference. So remember that, guys. Remember to stagger your drops. I mean, it kind of depends on the base, but I do highly recommend that strategy. Okay, next test is going to involve the area of effect. It's a modified version of a previous base that we made for the cryobomb testing. So, coming right back. Okay, here is the Rainmaker radius check base. So, what we're going to see, we'll just have the Rainmaker attacking the shock launcher here in the center. And we're going to see how much damage he does. I'm just going to keep it shocked so we don't waste time. I went with the shock launcher because it had a lot of health. So, there you have it. Basically, it looks like it's got the ability to do damage at just 6 tiles away. So there you have it. It's got a radius of 6 from the actual center point of the target out to the mines that it can attack or kill the furthest away. Now, granted, they don't all get destroyed, but the splash radius is essentially 6. It just, the coverage can vary. That's basically it. You know, we could do another interesting test to see if range matters. Yeah, let's forward to that test. Okay, we'll retreat from here. And what I'm going to do on this next test, I'm going to actually move it closer to the shock launcher, and I'm going to see if we get the same results. I hadn't thought about this before, but it might be good, because we know Grens get more accurate when they're closer, but what about these guys? Coming right. Okay, so here we are, and we are going to clear out some mines in the front. Something like that for the Rainmaker. So, it's closer. Let's see what we get. Honestly, I'm pretty sure it's going to have to be more accurate, right? Because otherwise it will start destroying itself, and that just doesn't make any sense. Oh, I should probably shock it too, huh? Wow. One shot and it almost went down. Yeah, so definitely bringing them closer does increase their accuracy and their damage. Yeah, it's hard to see. I mean, it looks like 1, 2, 3. I guess the radius on this was maybe about 3 as we moved in closer. But you could see with that first volley, it did a lot more damage to the target since everything was more tightly packed together. So keep that in mind too, guys. Alright, jumping out of here. I guess, is there anything else I wanted to cover on this video in terms of those points? I think we've got it. So these troops are very potent. Basically, the layout that I've been using and having a lot of success with is the one you see right here, where we've got 1 boat of Zukas and 1 boat of medics. I also run with Kavan and nuts. Like I was saying, I run with Kavan and the Crystal Critters. Accidentally stopped the recording of the video. Yeah. So like I said, pretty effective. What can I show you? I did an op attack with this layout today. I was boosted, fully boosted. We'll do this in double time because these things are this slow. Okay, the drop was just spam drop. But then again, this is an operation, so I'm not quite sure how much overkill there really was because these things had a lot more health on them. But in general, I would not recommend spam dropping. I definitely recommend a staggered drop approach. So, you know, pretty straightforward here with these guys. They was never really under threat at all. We're using our GBE to take down these rockets back here, slowly but surely. It did take a tremendous amount of GBE to drop all these Rainmakers, so we got to make up that gap by killing all the structures. But just kind of methodically making our way through here. The goal here wasn't to solo it, just to open it up to the next player. I think it actually took 2 more players to get this one down. It was really close on the subsequent attempts. I just had a shred of HP left on the board. But anyway, getting ahead of myself. So you see we flare over to the right. Again, nothing's in range. We know that these 2 rockets up here on the top are going to come into range at some point. And that's really the only reason whatsoever that we even needed healers. I might have been able to get away with just Kavan on this, but better to be safe than sorry. So that's how we stuck in the boat of healers for it as well. And it's just the typical loadout that I've been rolling. However, in this case, this was all Scorchers, or all, I'm sorry, not Scorchers. Scorchers, these are slow. It's all Rainmakers. I didn't have the super switching on this, because I knew I was going to be sneaking them in to blast away the core. But really, you pretty much just want to have the Rainmakers on their own. I don't find them all that good as a support troop for other combinations. Maybe I'm wrong on this, but from my experience, things are just, they're too darn slow. And stuff dies before you can target them. By the time you do target them and throw the bombs, they might already be dead. They're just not good. Plus, their advantage is their range. Like, so if you have other troops that are ahead of them, they're going to get lit up while you're just still waiting for these Rainmakers to make it rain. So I like to just roll with them all by themselves. Kavan makes a great choice for a hero simply because he stays back with them. He doesn't get in front of them. All the other heroes are going to get in front of him and probably get taken out. So that's why Kavan is just a natural choice for these. The Zookas, as you recall, are there simply to give us some extra DPS at the end, especially on bases that have a lot of ice. I'll just do a replay of something I did here. We've got... yeah, look at that attack log. Perfect attacks, guys. Shish Kebabber doesn't mess up. What can I tell you? Well, we do sometimes. But yeah, so here's one of them. Here's one of them. I don't think this guy had any eyes, but let's check it out. So yeah, we're just taking rid of obviously the grappler. Any prototype parts will outrange the Rainmakers, so we want to take care of the grappler right now on the start. And we're going to work on this Doom Cannon later as we generate more GP. I'm not boosted doing this right here. Still wasn't that staggered at the drop. But I was more concerned with just rotating into my healers and getting them out, so I knew I'd be taking some boosted or amplified rocket damage. Now, I hope these things aren't too loud. Turn the volume down just a bit. Anyway, you can see I'm getting really low on my health there with Kavan, so I decided to drop the critters at that point. Because we obviously don't want to lose Kavan. That would be a fail on this as well, more than likely. His healing and damage mitigation is quite nice. Remember, for every target he heals, they get 10% damage mitigation. So, that really helps. And, okay, I think at this point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I've still got one boat that I'm holding on to, just trying to get enough GBE so I can drop them all. But you see, we're making our way through. Here it comes. And I think we'll start working, we'll go to 2 times now. Start working on the Doom Cannon. I think pretty soon I will drop the Zookas as well. It's important, you have to drop them well ahead of time because they take a long time to kind of walk their way up to the HQ. And let's see, where do the Zookas come? I think I dropped the Zookas on this one. Okay, so we get rid of the, we get rid of that shock launcher. Now here come the Zookas. Not much to it. We'll go in single time though. But you see the base is going to fall anyway. In fact, I don't even know if the Zukas get there. Do they get there? No, they don't get there at all. So the Zuka timing is, something that I need to work on. But hey, it doesn't matter. The base went down. So you see, that's pretty straightforward. I'll show you one more that I did, I guess. Why not? Did I do it with this dude too? Yes, I did. Okay, take a look at this guy. Oh yeah, this dude's base had a weird layout. I'm not even sure if this was like legit. Look at these bases I'm finding in the 1250s. It's weird. I would expect some harder bases, but whatever. Now that's just a bit of a staggered drop. Nah, we'll lose in double time. I know, it's like watching paint dry. But same approach. We're just trying to get enough GBE to drop all of our troops. They're all spread out all over the place. This base is really good for it because you've got all these buildings that are stacked up next to each other, so all that splash damage, that shrapnel damage just gets so effective because it just splashes all over the buildings that are so close to each other, and stuff dies quickly, relatively speaking. Well, it's quick when it's in double time. Yeah, so moving right along. I hope we bring the Zukas in on this, but I probably don't, because again, the Zukas are more important on the bases with ice. These that I've been showing you right now actually don't have ice. So moving right along. Okay, here come the Zukas. Maybe they'll get a piece of this one. Yeah, they will, because there's a shield on it. So you see, we're in the range of the shock blaster. We'll go in single time as the Zukas approach. Basically need to keep the Zukas alive. So I've got enough GBE at this point. Here we go. So we got the shock, boom cannon for shock. The critters were dropped just to take care of that single mine. Now we're just keeping everything under shocks. And we're gonna let the Zukas do their magic. This is why the Zukas are important. You see, guys. Finally, I can show you an example. Yeah, put a cryo out there to just kind of slow stuff down. I don't know. It wasn't even necessary. It's only the shock launcher that's really messing with my troops. And yeah, the one boat of Zukas is key to this strategy. So remember, you clear everything out. Then finally at the end, you let the girls come in and finish off the base just like that. So, if I didn't do that, it probably still would have died. But it would have taken longer. Okay, so I think we're going to wrap it up right there. This is a long video, but Rainmaker 101, I hope you guys have learned a lot of neat stuff with it, primarily to stagger on the drop. Always keep your boat loaded with them, and yeah, that'll do it. So as always, have a great day, and be kind to others, because if you're not, you're just being mean, and mean people suck.